This episode of Long Night with Vish Khanna was recorded before a studio audience on Friday, November 16th, 2018.
Coming to you live from the Transac in Toronto, Canada, it's Long Night with Vish Khanna. On tonight's show, rapper Chippy Nonstop. Electronic producer Harrison is in the house. Our house band is the Bicycles. My name is James Keast. Please welcome to the stage a man who knows you can't hear a suit on a podcast, Vishal.
Hello. Good evening, everybody. Thank you for being here at the season premiere. Season 6, did we figure out? Season 6 of Long Night. Hang on. I wasn't done, guys. Season 7 of Long Winter. Season 6 of Long Night. Which one's more important to you? Obviously, Long Winter. That's fine. I appreciate that. We didn't start right away. We needed to ease into this show for some reason. And how about a hand for this tablecloth? Woo! So season 6 tablecloth. This is James Keast. These are the Bicycles. Thank you so much for being here. And without further ado, say hi to Chippy Nonstop, everybody.
Hello.
Chippy, thank you so much for being back on the show.
Of course.
It's nice to see you. Now, the last time you were on this show, we were in St. John's, Newfoundland.
Can't say I recall much of that, but yeah.
Now, why is that? Why can't you remember our time together? I thought it was really fun.
I'm sorry, I was really drunk.
Were you drunk on the show?
Yeah, I was.
Oh my God, okay. What do you got in your cup there?
Ginger ale.
Ginger ale, all right, that's great.
And vodka or something.
Okay, you like to have fun.
Yeah.
Are you having fun right now?
Not yet, I'm getting there.
Chippy, you're going to play a little bit later too?
Yes, I will be DJing later.
It's cool. Now, the last time you were here, or we were together, I guess, we talked about how you are originally from Dubai?
Well, I was born in Dubai, but I'm Indian. Yeah.
You're like me.
Yep.
We're both Indian.
Yeah.
And now, when was the last time you were interviewed by an Indian person?
The last time you interviewed me.
Right. Why? I feel like Indian people, if I may stereotype, are very nosy and interrogative.
Yeah.
Why haven't more interviewed you at this point?
I mean, other than like my family interrogating me
That's it,
know.
right? There's just not that many Indian.
I'm trying to think. No, I don't think so.
There's just not that many of us.
It's honestly usually like white girls. Yeah.
White girls are the ones who interview you?
Interviewing me, yeah.
And what do they have a characteristic that you've noticed? Is there something that the white girls do?
They're just like journalistic. I don't know.
Right. Very serious, or what? They're just like.
Just journalists.
Right.
You know?
Just journalists. So where did you actually grow up?
I was born in Dubai, and then I moved to Africa, Zambia, and then after that my dad wanted to quit his job because they were transferring him to Kenya, and he didn't want to live in Kenya, and my mom didn't want to live there, so I guess they came to Canada for a second, but then my dad got a job in America when I was 10 years old.
So just to interrupt a moment, is your dad a superhero, a spy?
No, he worked for Lipton, like the tea company.
Your dad is in charge of cup of soup around the world? Is that?
And like Dove.
Oh, right. So he's like, what does he do?
Like or Unilever. Like it was like he's an accountant.
How many sponsors are we going to get for the show? You're just dropping names all over the place.
I need sponsorship.
I need some too. Yeah, that's right.
Cheers to that.
So what did he do? Was he like a scientist, a salesman?
No, he's an accountant.
Your dad was an accountant for Lipton, and you were born in Dubai, and then you lived in Africa? Really?
I guess Unilever, the company, transfers a lot of their head people every 3 years to another place.
Okay.
And so he quit, and then we moved to America when I was 10. But so I grew up in America, and then 3 years ago I got deported.
Yeah, we're going to get to the deportation because I think there might be some news on that front, maybe.
Yeah.
But before we get to the deportation, which is always a fun story for you, I know we talked about this last time. Do you have any sense memory of your first 10 years in? So was it Africa mostly?
Yeah, I lived in Zambia in a place called Ndola. But yeah, like I remember all of it pretty much.
Have you been back to Dubai, by the way?
Yeah, I still have family there. Like my aunt, my uncle, my cousins, they all live there.
Okay, because Dubai is it's like becoming this mystical place for some of us, where lots of money.
It's like very fake, and like the beaches are man-made, and like the tallest building in the world, or like a ski slope inside of a mall. Like it's just so extra.
A ski slope inside of a mall.
Yeah, I went skiing inside of a mall, and it's just like it's super icy. You can't even like ski properly because they're just like air conditioners like blowing on the ice, so it's like or on the snow, so it just turns into like ice.
Okay, that's interesting.
I mean,
do you like
Dubai?
Dubai? I can't tell. You described it as fake and kind of materialistic.
I mean, it's fun for a moment, but it's like fleeting. You know what I mean? Like It's like Vegas. Like I could go there and have a good time, but I'm not gonna live there.
You're not gonna live there.
No.
Okay, but what about Zambia? What was that like?
It was like I always say like everywhere I lived was good for where at the time of my life.
Okay.
You know, like I was a kid, so like it was a lot of space, running around, like, and just like doing whatever. Okay. You know, kid shit.
You were a little kid doing little kid stuff wherever you were. Okay.
Exactly.
So did your parents move to California?
California. They currently live in California.
San Diego or something like that?
Yeah.
Okay. And so you grew up in San Diego?
Well, most like San Diego, Oakland, and around California and LA.
Oh, and was that cool?
Yeah. Everything was cool in my
life. Okay.
I had a good life.
Okay.
Or I have a good life.
You have a good life. So when did you get into music exactly?
So I moved to Oakland when I was 16 by myself.
By yourself at 16?
Yeah. I graduated from, I did a fast-paced high school and graduated early.
Are you
Not because I was smart. I just, did 2 years in 1 year.
So you're not smart, you're fast.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Sometimes being fast is better than being smart.
I just like to be proficient. So I just wanted to do my two of my years in 1 year at a charter school, so I could just do it all and then I could move, because I just wanted to start life.
Are you an impatient person?
No, high school was just dumb. So I just wanted to
You wanted out.
I just wanted to end high school.
Were you interested in anything in particular in high school?
Yeah, like music, dancing, and that stuff.
Music and dancing. So you turned that into your career, basically.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, so how did you get into music?
So, yeah, I moved to, actually, I was in San Francisco at first when I was 16, and I was writing about music, and I would go to a lot of concerts and stuff, and I, would lie about my age to, get into things and just start writing about music. And then after that, I had a Twitter that kind of, got people's attention because it was funny. And this rapper in this pretty popular group in Oakland just DM'd me and was like, "Oh, you look interesting. Do you make music?" And I was just I had never, actually made a song at that point.
Okay.
I had, fucked around on, GarageBand and stuff by myself, but I wasn't, an artist. And I was like, yeah, I guess I could make music. And then...
Just on a lark? You just decided...
I was just fuck it, let me just do it. And then he was like, could you sing on my song? And I was like, sure. And so I went to his studio and I sang on his song. And then a bunch of people started hearing that song. And it kind of just trickled. And then Diplo, the producer, heard the song. And he asked me to come to LA and write and record on the Major Lazer album.
Wow.
And then one of my friends, Krayshawn, her album blew up, and she just asked me if I would move to LA permanently to help her write her album. So it was just kind of an accident.
This is all a series of high profile, that's a lot of high profile people.
Yeah, it kind of just happened to me, and then people just liked me, I guess.
Yeah, no, you're likable. I like you. I wanted you back on the show. For people who haven't heard you or seen you, what kind of music are you making now compared to what you were making then? Yeah,
so when I moved to LA, I was songwriting for other people. Before I moved, I had made my own EP and stuff, and it was rap music, but also like with dance beats and stuff like that, which is like I still like am influenced by like some rap music, but I'm mostly like making club music at this point, which is a lot of like world influences still, like Arabic music, a lot of Indian music influences, a lot of African music influences. But basically, like, I signed a contract when I was in LA that I wasn't allowed to put out any of my own music.
You did that?
Yeah,
yourself?
because I needed money and I was songwriting for other people.
Fast, not smart. That's your deal. You wanted the money fast.
Basically,
Wasn't signing a smart contract.
I mean, it was a good decision at the time because I was literally like I had nowhere to live.
Yeah,
or,
yeah,
like,
no,
anything.
I understand. Yeah.
But yeah, so I just signed that contract, and then I was like, oh, I really miss performing because that's my favorite shit to do. And I was like, okay, well, I can start DJing. And like I knew how to, but I wasn't like a DJ.
Sure.
So I was like, oh, I can just start DJing. This was like 2012 or 13 or 12 or 13.
Okay.
Around then. And yeah, I was like, I should just start DJing instead and start, performing because I just missed it so much. And I couldn't keep performing live because I didn't have any new music. So no one cared to book me as an artist because I had no new music.
Right.
Yeah.
So you mentioned a couple of like kind of cultural traditions that make it into your music.
Yeah.
At the beginning of this, you said, I'm Indian.
Yeah.
Does that a heavy influence for you?
Yeah, like even on my first EP I ever made, I never like, I mean, I'm Indian and I don't like to be like, oh, I'm fucking Indian. Like I'm gonna like comedians just like Russell Peters who just does like Indian jokes or something. It's like, it's a part of me, but it's not my entire identity because I've done so many different things, what I mean?
Do you think of Russell Peters as something of a sellout?
I think it's corny, personally, but
I like to think of people like that. I call them Uncle Raj. I think Russell Peters is an Uncle Raj.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, that's what he's just doing, hokey accents.
He's just like corny. He's a sellout.
Yeah. I'm not a big fan.
Yeah, but on my first EP, I had a song where I sang in Hindi, but and then the last thing I put out, I also sing in Hindi on it, but it's like, it's not like, it's just because I wanted to. It wasn't like, oh, I'm going to make this like a Indian song and everyone's going to like it. You know what I mean?
Well, you're proud of your heritage.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up with it. Like, I still watch Bollywood movies. Like, my parents are super Indian.
Yeah, my parents are fairly Indian, I would say. Yeah, my parents are from India as well. So they're very Indian. Did you have a thing where you rebelled against them at all? It sounds like you were pretty tight with your parents. Like I'm sitting at this table here doing white people things because I was kind of rebelling against my parents a little bit. Turns out they were right. I should have been a doctor or a lawyer, and instead I don't even have a real tablecloth.
I mean, I didn't rebel against my culture. I rebelled against like my parents because they're like parents.
See, I didn't distinguish the culture from my parents on some level.
Oh no, because I loved it all. Like I can recite like entire Bollywood movie like words. Yeah. Like I've always loved the culture. I mean, I wasn't born in North America, so
no, right? Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's true. Right.
Yeah.
I was born here, and so I had to face the scrutiny of people.
Yeah, and a lot of like when you're families like expatriates and stuff, you end up hanging out with other brown people in every place you live in.
Yeah.
So like when we lived in Africa, it was like I would only knew other Indian people.
Right.
Basically.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we have to talk about the deportation.
Yeah.
Because this made the news. Tell us what happened again. I don't want to get this wrong.
So basically, about 3 years ago, I was doing like a little tour in Asia, and I was coming back from Japan. And on my way back, I was put into a room, and everyone in the room was like hysterical and crying. And I was like, oh shit, like what?
All people of color?
Well, yeah. I mean, there was one young little German boy. I don't know. And
that doesn't go well. You don't want to traumatize small German boys.
Basically. Anyway, so yeah, they put me into this room, and like everyone's crying in the room, and I'm just like, oh fuck, like what is about to happen to me, basically. And then they were like, they were calling me my real name, which is Chavi, the whole time when I walked into the room. And then all of a sudden, like maybe like 30 minutes later, this guy comes out and he's like kind of laughing and he's like, come with me, Chippy. And I was just like, like, why?
Oh shit, he Googled you.
Yeah, he Googled me. And like, I mean, I'm like pretty like, I guess raunchy online. Like I tweet like a lot of like dumb shit. Like, and
but just to interject, can you give us an example of a raunchy, dumb shit tweet?
I mean, like, the last tweet that I tweeted literally went right before I got off the plane was just did acid in Japan. I'm tripping the fuck out.
And then you got the airport security
and
being like,
yeah. So yeah.
Okay.
And then so he starts calling me Chippy, and then they put me into this room, and it's just like a white room and like itchy ass blankets and like a TV that doesn't work and like an old Lion King VHS.
Why were they recreating my childhood basement? That's weird.
Yeah, and I was like, oh no, like what is this? Like I'm going to prison. Like
right, that sounds absolutely terrifying. Yeah.
And then so I'm sitting in this room. They take away all my possessions. Like they take away my shoes because like I had shoelaces in them that like didn't like fully come out, and they like didn't want me to like hang myself with my shoelace. And then like I had a hoodie, and like they took away my hoodie, or like they took away the string in my hoodie. And then, they just took away all my money and everything, like my phone. No one knew that I was there or anything.
This is at LAX, right?
This is at LAX,
right,
yeah.
In Los Angeles, right.
Yeah, this is in Los Angeles. And I had a partner at the time who was waiting outside, like apparently like screaming the security trying to get in. I don't know what. No one knew where I was.
Yeah.
And I'd just been flying from Japan, so I hadn't contacted anyone. So
it sounds like you might have been too high.
Basically.
Yeah, right.
My parents apparently thought I missed my flight, but So
no one knows where you are.
So
You're sequestered in this room. This guy's basically teasing you.
Exactly. And then he comes out, like, I'm in this room for maybe like a few hours. I don't know what time it is. There's no clock or anything. And then he takes me into questioning, and then they're like asking me like, have you ever done any drugs? Like, and I'm just like, because I know they've seen my Twitter at this point. And then I was like, yeah, I've done drugs. Like, is that wrong? And
correct answer in that scenario is yes.
And then,
probably.
and they were like, well, we read your Twitter, and I was like, well, that's just a persona.
Right.
And then they were like, okay, well, they were like reading out all the gigs that I've played and like all this shit, and they were like, apparently you were under the wrong visa for 6 months a few years ago. And I was like, I don't know. I've lived in America since I was 10 years old. My mom and dad still live here.
Yeah.
I don't know because I had switched a bunch of visas since I was in America.
Sure.
And I was on a dependent visa, my parents, when I moved there. And then when I went to school, so I switched to a student visa. And then I am
not interrogating you, by the way.
No.
You don't have to give me all of this information.
No, but I'm just telling you, like, basically, for 6 months, I was on a wrong visa.
No, I understand. Yeah, no.
And I was like, oh, fuck, so what's going to happen to me?
Right.
And they were like, well, you could go to Mexico, you could go to India, or you could go to Canada. And I was like, what time is it? I had no idea.
You don't even know what time it is.
Yeah, I don't even know what time it is. And they were like, oh, it's like midnight. So I was like, oh, I'm not about to go to Mexico. Even though my parents live like 30 minutes away from Mexico, I was like, oh, no. Like,
right in San Diego, right?
Yeah,
right,
I was like, oh, I'm not going to go to Tijuana at midnight right now. So I was like, okay, well, just like send me to Vancouver because that's the closest place in Canada.
Okay.
So
right.
Like I get to Vancouver and they like escort me to literally I have to sit next to a like police guy like or Homeland Security on the plane. Like they escort me like the whole way onto the plane. I'm sitting next to Homeland Security.
This is giving me anxiety just hearing this story. I know you're in front of me and you're doing relatively well, but I can't.
I've told this story like 3,000 times.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Can I interject with a question that I've always wondered about?
Yeah.
When you get deported, they just like pay.
I had to pay for my flight. I had to pay for my flight.
That is insane.
Yeah, wow. And I was like, oh, I have no money, and they like knew that I had money because I just played a bunch of shows. So they were like, no, like. And I had a credit card because they had all my credit cards, so they knew that I could pay for it.
Right. So
because if I couldn't pay for it, they would have sent me to India, and there was no fucking way I was going there.
Wait a minute. The punishment,
Wait.
if you have no money, is that they send you to India?
They send you on a longer, more expensive flight?
Because like I'm of Indian descent, but if you're born in the Middle East, you're not given citizenship of a Middle Eastern country. You have to be of Arab descent.
Oh, I see.
So they just send you to where you're from.
Where your parents are from.
But it's where you're from.
Where you're from. Okay.
Yeah.
So basically, we got you here in Canada because of this course of events.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is I said this the last time you were on. It's
Blessed.
good for us. Yeah, it's great for us. But you want to? Have you seen your parents?
Actually, I'm going to the Dominican Republic on Monday to see them. I haven't seen them in like 2 years.
Okay. But I also heard, is there some developments in your ability to go to America? Because you haven't been to the United States.
I haven't been in 3 years. So I just found out. My lawyer told me if I get booked for like a really big gig that pays like a decent, like a good amount, and they pay for it, they pay for my paperwork, then I can enter America two weeks at a time for shows.
Oh, okay.
Only.
You're not.
No, I can't. I can't ever live there again.
But that's ever in your life?
No.
Because of this?
Yeah, I'm banned for 10 years to enter at all, and for life, I'm not allowed to live in America.
That's ridiculous, and I'm sorry that this has happened to you. But
I mean, my life's good.
It seems
As
pretty
I
good.
said.
It seems pretty good. Yeah. Well, I do appreciate.
Actually, like I was like, because all this happened, like I got out of that contract. Like I figured exactly what I wanted to do versus like just like kind of a lot of fluke shit kept happening to me, and I just kept going with it. And this made me like actually like sit down and figure out what I actually wanted to do, and like figure out an actual plan in my life and where I wanted to be.
Oh, so it was like a blessing in disguise, so to speak?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Well, Chippy, it's great to talk to you again.
Yeah.
We're going to take a quick break, and then when we come back, I think you might...
I think I was supposed to say a joke, but like I don't know.
Well, don't tell them that. We're going to come back and figure it out. We'll figure it out together.
Okay, I thought the joke was right now.
No, we're taking a break. I just said we're going to take a break.
Oh, shit, okay.
How much have you been having fun with your glass?
Not at all. That's the problem.
We're going to take a quick break. More with Chippy Nonstop in just a moment. Stick around. Hey, we're back. We're back on Long Night. Thank you very much. How you doing, Transac? You having a good time? I forgot to do my dad thing at the top of the show and say, hey, we're recording this, so if you cannot have a conversation while we're talking, that would be great. But I felt too dad-like to say it at the time.
Well, you are a dad.
I am a dad.
I'm a granddad. Do you want me to do it?
Yeah, you are a granddad.
Shut the hell up.
Get off of my lawn, that kind of thing.
See? Once you're a granddad, you could just like be grumpy.
Can you can hear me, right? Like them talking is not.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, it's fine. Okay, so it's time now. It's time now for a new segment on Long Night called Chippy Tells Us a Story. Oh, wow, that was great. Great theme song, guys. So, Chippy, it's time now. Once again, having a round of applause for
Oh, wait, I
Chippy.
thought we were going to work on this together and think of something.
Chippy Nonstop, everyone, is here. So, Chippy, it's nice to see you again. I understand you have a funny anecdote to tell us.
Yeah. Okay, all right. Okay, fine. So, I just got back from a tour in Europe. And on my way to somewhere in the UK, I can't remember where it was, but like speaking of like being like profiled and at airports and stuff, so like I've been having a really hard time traveling everywhere because of the deportation situation.
Yeah.
And so I was in the UK, and the guy was like, oh, like do you have enough money to be in this country? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, well, I'm going to have to walk you to the ATM and check your bank account.
Wait a minute, which guy? Who? What guy is
The fucking guy that asks you questions.
The guy that asked
Customs guy?
Santa Claus? Who are you
The-
talking about?
The like
When does
security.
Santa Claus
the-
ask questions?
What do you want for
Yeah, when
Christmas?
is? Oh,
Chippy?
true. He
That's
has
what Santa
one.
Claus
He has
would say.
one question.
You would know. You look like Santa Claus. I
Santa
thought maybe you
asked
would know
one question.
the question. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, but anyway, they made me walk to the ATM to check my bank account. This is not even funny. I don't even know why I'm telling it.
No, it's a great story. I'm enjoying it. Yeah.
And then after, they go check my ATM, and I'm like, okay, now what? And they're like, now we have to check your suitcase. And I was like, all right. So they like take me to this other place to check my suitcase, and I have this jacket in there, and it's like just a really shiny jacket,
Sure.
and it's black. And he's like unfolding the jacket and like moving it around like all crazy. And I was like, he's like, what is this? And I was like, a jacket. And then he was like, this doesn't look like a jacket. And I was like, do you want me to put it on? Like, what do you want me to do? And then he's like, no, this doesn't look like a jacket. This looks like something you would make a bomb out of. And I was like,
a bomb or a bomb?
a bomb. A
Would it be-
bomb.
Is
And I
there
was like,
any way it didn't look like a jacket? Like, did it have arms?
it had arms. It's just like a really like vinyl material
Yeah,
like
sure,
jacket. Like,
sure.
and I was like, it's called fashion. Like, hello. And then he was like, all right. And he was like, oh, what do you do? Like, why do you need this jacket?
Uh-huh.
And I was like, I don't understand the question. And then he was like, why are you wearing this jacket?
What?
And I was like, I don't understand.
Because you're cold?
And I was like, it was like a really,
Sometimes?
it's literally not a practical jacket at all. It's fully just fashion.
Right. So
And
maybe
he just
that maybe
didn't-
explain. I don't understand fashion half the time when you watch like
Yeah,
a
but you can't make
fashion
a bomb
show.
out of a vinyl jacket.
I'm sure you can. I'm not sure.
Whose side are you on?
I'm on your side generally. This is how we play Chippy Tells Us a Story, everyone. Good story.
Thanks. It's called improv. I need 2K extra though.
Before we let you go for a little bit, you're gonna come join us after when Harrison's.
Yes.
Okay. Before we let you go though, what are you doing musically? Like, what's going on? It's been a while, I think.
I'm DJing a lot all the time.
Okay.
I'm working on a record. I have a bunch of like features coming out on people's stuff.
Oh, you do.
I'm gonna be on.
You're gonna
other
be on other people's stuff, yeah.
And I'm just DJing a lot. I'm going on another Europe tour, February, March, and then, I'm going to Mexico and Argentina and Chile
Oh wow.
in January.
Sweet.
So yeah, I'm just
You're
basically
busy.
DJing a lot.
And where
Yeah.
can people go on the internet to learn more about Chippy Nonstop?
I'm on the internet, just Chippy Nonstop, everything.
Just Google
Google.
Chippy Nonstop.
Yeah.
Okay. Are
It's
there any
easier.
other Chippy Nonstops?
No.
That's an interesting name. Why
Yeah.
Nonstop? I feel like Chippy is a play on your real name,
No,
right?
no. My
Oh.
friend just started calling me Chippy because like I ate a lot of chips, and then Nonstop because I'm nonstop. I'm always doing
'Cause you
shit,
wouldn't stop eating the chips, probably.
and also wouldn't stop eating the
Right.
chips.
Well, good friends you got there, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know where she's at now, but I shout her out on the daily. So
Oh, nice.
yeah, I have no idea where she is at.
Wait, like the podcast, The Daily by the New York
no,
Times?
like on the daily, like
oh, on
regularly.
like the way colloquially, the way the kids say. I'm sorry. Anyone check out The Daily? That's a good podcast. All right, Chippy Nonstop, everyone. We're going to take a break, and then Harrison's out here with us. Thank you. We're back on Long Night. Thank you very much for being here. And joining us now is the one and only Harrison. How about a hand for Harrison, everyone?
Hey,
How you doing?
I'm well, thanks, man. How
It's
are you?
nice to see you. I'm pretty good. Yeah, I'm doing all right. Did you meet Chippy Nonstop?
Yeah, I've met Chippy many times.
Now, were you backstage with Chippy? Was she eating lots of chips?
I didn't see her eating any chips.
Okay. Did you have any chips?
No, man. I'm on a diet.
Why is that? You're a fit guy. You don't need to be on a diet, do you?
I've been eating junk for like the last 6 months.
Oh, you might be Chippy
Yeah,
Nonstop.
man. It's bad for your skin. I haven't been drinking water, dude.
You are drinking water?
I'll go like 3 days without drinking water.
Oh, yeah, that's bad. You have to
It's
drink water all
terrible.
the time. I'm learning that too. Yeah, we
Uh,
need water. We're made of water, you know.
I know, and I just found this out recently.
This is good that we have a health segment on the show. Now, you just found out recently?
Kidding.
What, did you read a book? Last time you and I were together, I think I was at your house in
You
Toronto.
were at my house, yeah.
But when we talked, you said you might be moving.
Yeah, I wanted to. Well, honestly, I'm not going to. I
You're
wanted
not?
to move out to like Picton. I wanted to move to the country.
The country?
Yeah.
Picton's expensive now.
Is it expensive now?
Oh, yeah.
That's a shame. That's
How
a
much is
shame.
it?
Well, it's the county, right? It's Prince Edward County.
Oh,
it's all
right.
of
Everyone's moving to-
It's
right.
the Napa of the North.
Right, with the wine country? It's
Yeah,
Ontario.
wine country and rich white people.
Yeah, exactly.
And
Yeah,
Harrison
actually-
almost.
And almost Harrison. But last time I was in Picton, it was kind of depressing. We were walking out of a LCBO, and it was my two friends in front of me, and I was walking behind. And it was myself, and then in the parking lot, there was a group of black men. And this guy walking by my friends leans over, and he says, "A lot more blacks than whites around here lately." This isn't fucking Picton. This is in Canada, man. And they're like, "Yo, what?" And then he just walked away.
What
So
the-
I guess I'm not moving to Picton.
Jesus Christ.
Low-key a clan there.
You know,
so.
I tried to put on a nice little talk show, and all my guests are being racially profiled everywhere they go. I don't know what's going on anymore.
Hey, man, it's okay.
Are you okay? Are you doing okay?
I'm great. I'm
okay,
great.
because
Yeah.
I saw something in the press release
Oh, God.
for your new. Yeah, this is getting around. Are you okay about this?
What's getting around?
Well, your new album, by the way, is beautiful. It's wonderful.
you. Thank
It's
you.
called Apricity.
Apricity, yeah.
Apricity. I had not encountered that word before, and I've read a book or two. What is that word? What does that mean?
Apricity specifically means the warmth of the sun in the winter. I know it is. It's a pretty name. I was like, damn.
That's kind
the
of what
prettiest name I've
our
ever heard.
long winter
Prettiest
festival
word,
does,
rather.
don't you think?
Yeah. That's a yeah.
Anybody? No.
Applause sign.
Applause sign. Yeah. No, it's true. That's nice. Where'd you hear this word? Where'd you come across this
I
word?
was man. Honestly, like my last album, I was just looking for like thick words, man. Like seriously, my last album was called Checkpoint Titanium, and I was like, what are the two like thickest sounding words I could put together? And it's checkpoint and titanium. And but with Apricity, it was actually more. It was actually like the album was made during the winter.
Yeah.
It was,
Sure.
and yeah, I've lived here for 23 years, and the winter never gets easier, man. Like
it's getting worse.
Yeah, it gets worse.
And then also because of the fact that the world is ending and the climate's changing, this is one
Yeah.
of the most fun shows we've ever done. The summer is oppressively hot now as well. So there's no relief anymore. But the winter is hard on you.
yeah, the winter.
Because I always like the winter because I feel like I have more allure in the winter because people can't see all of me. Like I'm all bundled up and they're like, "Who's that suave motherfucker?" And then the summer, like, "Ooh, that guy didn't work out so well for that guy." Taking off more clothes, bad idea. That's more about me and my problems. Listen, that's a nice term, and you just wanted to capture the warmth of it. Like you wanted to get the warmth into the winter.
Yeah, man.
So does
Absolutely.
that vibe? I think now that you say that, I feel like that vibe is kind of all throughout your record.
Yes.
Was that purposeful? Like you wanted to make an upbeat.
Yeah, it was supposed to be like uplifting and warm, fuzzy sound, tape, all that, just to try and make it, trying to, I guess capture that kind of feeling.
Yeah.
Of just like warmth.
Because you are. Correct me if I'm wrong. You're primarily self-taught at stuff, right?
Yes, yeah.
Like, how did you learn how to do all the stuff you know how to do? I mean, musically, not like somebody raised you,
Yeah.
taught you how to wear clothes, put food in your mouth. But at the same time, musically, you mostly just. I mean, if I remember this correctly, you liked a girl or something, maybe
God,
in high
yeah.
school, and then
Yeah.
she liked a guy who played music, and you're like, fuck that.
That
I'm
was-
going to learn
that
how to
was-
play. Is that right? Did I get that?
That was the
close?
Yeah, that was pretty.
I don't remember
That
exactly.
was
but-
pretty much it.
So you just picked up instruments on your own,
Yeah, I started playing the piano
piano.
and YouTube, a very resourceful thing.
That's right. YouTube
The
has.
YouTube.
You can learn how to do anything on YouTube.
I learned piano through YouTube.
You
man.
learned piano completely?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, the thing is, I took lessons from 7 to like 9 or 10.
Oh,
but the
okay.
information was not retained. So I was like, when you're a kid and you're like, I didn't like playing the piano at that time. I was like, this fucking sucks. This
It's
is
like
boring.
my son is the same.
Yeah,
I
it's-
have him in piano lessons, and he doesn't like the practice.
Yeah, it's just I was doing this for my mom. I'm like, she wants me to just play the piano. I'll play the piano. Fuck it.
Right. Okay.
But I got older. I'm like, okay, this is cool. And there's just like I learned some like jazz chords and whatever.
Sure.
But then I went back and tried to start from the beginning, specifically like in the jazz like genre or whatever, and then tried to learn as much as I could in like a
But like
2-year
more or
period.
less on your own.
Yeah. I mean, does YouTube count as on your own?
No. I mean, yeah. That's a good point.
You know what I mean?
With
So it wasn't
YouTube.
on my own.
But I mean, like you didn't have like a teacher per se. Except,
No.
did you go to the same YouTube guy every time or woman?
No,
Or
no.
did you- was that your teacher? Like
It was always different people.
Okay. All right. So, how does that translate? Like, did that start with the last album where you were like, that was the manifestation of you just teaching yourself via YouTube how to make stuff, and now this one is like up? Like, did you know more shit when you made this album than you did the last one?
Well, it started with the last album because when I got signed, I was sampling.
That's right.
I was sampling.
That's right.
And they're like, you think we're going to fucking pay for your sample clearance? Like, that's a lot of money.
Right.
I tried to clear samples on this record, and it's a huge pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Half of them didn't get back to me, so I was like, okay, and they were just vocal samples. So I was like, I kind of faked it till then. So I was like, I should learn how to not make music with samples.
Right. That's what it was.
But
yeah.
it wasn't that tough.
It wasn't that tough.
No.
When
you're inspired, I guess.
What I read in the press release that I said earlier was that you felt that you had a bit of a mental block because of musical deficiencies. That's
Yes.
one thing I read, and the other thing was depression, which I can relate to as well. I have anxiety and I have stuff going on, but you went through a rough time, basically, right?
Yeah, man. It's a little tilting too, because it's like, I don't think any of us want good art to be spawned from pain. You know what I mean? That sucks.
I would hope not. Yeah.
But like, it just happened to be the case twice, and I was very frustrated with it. But I think it was, it was trying to find a balance in between like working through problems and like enjoying making music, and it was. Sorry if I'm segueing a bit, but it was. No. It was a weird time.
It's fine, but I guess I'm curious about the impulse that you had to okay this information going out with your album press release.
Because we need to talk about mental health.
No, that's what I was getting at. Because I think there was a time where we didn't do this as much, maybe as creative people.
Yeah.
Some of us kind of kept that stuff to ourselves and dealt with it. And what I'm hearing more of these days is kind of like this instructive thing. Artists like yourselves are trying to talk about mental health issues, I think, so that other people don't feel alone.
Yeah, that's the biggest point, is not feeling alone. You're not alone if you're sad. You know what I mean? Many of us are sad and we want to get better. But the problem is some of these articles and these headlines using it as a selling point. You know what I mean? It's
you mean to promote your record?
Yeah,
I mean,
man.
you've been doing interviews.
Like, I put in the press release. It's like I didn't put in the press release, but it was when whoever was writing the press release, she's like, "What were you going through?" It was a person I was chatting to, and I was very open about it. And I'm happy it's in there, but like, it shouldn't be like a selling point for the music. It's like, like a depressed artist.
It's become an angle.
Yeah, fuck that. It shouldn't be the angle. It's like, if you like the music, you like the music. Don't like the music because the person was in a bad place.
Well, I think speaking as...
But I understand relating to someone. So.
Well, yeah. A lot of times when I'm interviewing a musician, I kind of want to know what their headspace was at, where they were at when they were coming up with stuff, right?
Oh, yeah, of course.
So I just thought it was interesting that the record was couched this way as opposed to you maybe organically saying it. But I view that as a weird, my weakness is strong. Like, that's a confident thing to do, is what I'm saying. Because I've been struggling with how public I want to be with my struggles. Like, I don't talk about it very much.
Of course. I understand.
Because I'm old, and I maybe
what,
from
like
a time...
36?
I'm 40. Why did you guess 36?
I don't know. I thought you were doing like a touch of gray thing or something.
No, I'm not. No, it's whatever it's happening, it's just happening on its own. Thanks. Jesus.
Oh, you're handsome as hell. You're aging like wine, dog.
I know. I look good.
Yeah.
Don't I look good? I look pretty good.
Yeah, it looks good. And you're tall, too. You're tall, man.
I am tall. You're tall.
I know I'm tall.
It's going to be a tall off.
I just
We're going to be nice to each other about our...
I'm going to win.
I'm going to
tall.
be 41 next month.
41. Oh
Yeah.
my.
So I'm
goodness.
old, and I think I still keep things some things to myself. I'm maybe too frank about other things like my age, but you and your generation, I'm very pleased to see you like confronting these, not confronting them, but like addressing these things. I think it's really important for people who like your music to know this shit. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
It got twisted a little bit.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, it's not like I take offense to it. I was like, it was like 3 articles in a row. 3 in a row being like, Harrison battled imposter syndrome, Harrison battled depression to make this record.
Yeah.
And again, I'm like, y'all fucking like the record? Or do you want to know
Right.
what, you know what I mean? Man, it's a privilege to be able to do this as a job.
No, absolutely. Yeah, you don't want people to feel sorry for you. Is that part of this?
Yeah, but like also, you know what I mean? Like, oh man, I don't really want to get too deep into this.
No, well, I know. Don't worry, no one's here. We're just by ourselves. Just like you and me at your parents' house, man.
Well, I mean, like, you know, like a lot of young black men aren't taught how to express themselves properly when those types of emotions, especially people growing up in poverty. And there's so many different situations, but you know, my dad's Jamaican, and like his side of the family, there's just a lot going on with that type of stuff, and like homophobia and this and that. And so the least I felt like I could do was be a little candid about seeing a therapist or dealing with some demons. And I'd like to encourage people to be, if there's many free resources, you know, therapy, and like if you feel like you need to talk to someone, please talk to someone. That's it. That's all I want to say. If you feel like you won't, you know, that's all. We live in a country that has those resources, even though there's still not enough of them. We still have them.
And it's exorbitant. They cost a lot of money, and they're not affordable for people. Yeah. Listen, I appreciate you saying that, and I don't want to delve too much more deeply into it, because I do want to talk about your music and this record, at least a little bit in the time we have left, because you do a thing that I always find fascinating, because as far as I know, you produce the music, then you have these people come on and do kind of features, right?
Yeah.
And what kind of lyrical input do you have?
None.
Zero, right?
No, man. I don't like having input on music video treatments and lyrics, because
someone else's art form.
Yeah, I mean, if I bring a song to you and be like, or give you my album or something,
sure,
a project, be like, what's your favorite song and what do you see? They could be more excited having a budget and being able to do what they want to do than like trying to, you know, it's a little voice crack there, try and project my vision. It will usually turn out better because it's something they wanted to do. I
mean, it's partially your vision because you came up with the music. So
yeah, I know, but I mean,
I
visually
hear
and stuff.
I hear you. So before we get into some of the content, talk about some of the people on this record. Oh God, it's a memory jog, I suppose.
No. Yeah, actually. Well, there's Aaron Team from Nashville.
Got Maddie Tavares on there, right?
Yeah, Maddie from Bad Bad Not Good.
Yeah.
What a unit. Talvi. I should pull this shit up, man.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to, my point. One of my points, I should say, was that given the context of the way in which you made the music, and the umbrella term you've used to the name of the album, I guess. I'm just curious what it's like to put that music out in the world with other people's ideas, lyrical ideas. You know, they're communicating things that are their own expression. Do you see any sense, like from your perspective as the producer, do you see a thematic connection between these songs? Even though like you didn't write them, you know what I mean? Like you made the music, but like lyrically, have you noticed patterns
throughout the album?
Yeah, just curious.
I mean, nah, not really.
No, they're all separate.
No, they're all different stories. People got different stories to tell, man.
Right.
They're all different people. Like Your Girl's like a pop song, and then you know, Aaron was talking about some shit that was going on in his life. I didn't have a clue, and I found out later when he moved back to Nashville. Talby was going through some like.
Everyone was kind of going through something.
Yeah, but it wasn't. Why is my phone? Why is Twitter open, man?
Are you live tweeting this talk?
Yeah, just tweeting away.
No, it's.
Yeah, so everyone was going through something different, and yeah.
But that's a theme.
that's the theme. Everyone's going through something different.
Well,
man.
you were going through shit, and then everyone else was going through
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
Did they talk to you about where you were at creatively or mentally, like making the music when they came in to do lyrics? Like, was there I'm very curious about you just giving free rein to
It's
the
a fascinating
lyricists in
thing.
particular.
Yeah.
Was there like, did they try to find common ground with the headspace that you were in when it was created, or were they just like
They just went for it,
heard it
man.
and went for it, and that was
That was it. I think a big it was like trying to find artists that don't usually rap or sing over that type of music. So trying to take people out of their comfort zones, but also giving them free reign of their lyrics.
Yeah.
So like they're somewhat comfortable. We didn't talk much about it. Like it was just because all these people were besides Aaron, who was living in Toronto, they were all from Toronto. So
Was that a conscious thing? You wanted to work with people that were around?
Of course. So we're a Canadian artist. You gotta work twice as hard, man.
You said this
is
to
in
me.
America.
You said this the last time we talked. Like you really want to big up your city. This city means a lot to you.
Oh yeah, a ton. Even though I'm watching it burn to the ground lately, but it means a ton.
Yeah.
I love it. I lived here 23 years, and I love the people. And I don't know. I just there's so many beautiful people here, and so many great artists, and we have. It seems like we like to shit on each other a lot here, man. Yeah, we're stepping on each other's toes. It's got there's a lot of.
Are you talking about me? I don't mean it. I just trying to make a couple of jokes. Jeez.
I mean, like how many people like always got to be at something or like they won't come to your shit because it's like they're at some next cool thing with some cool person.
Right.
Some cool, like it's like give it a break, man. Just you don't have to be cool. I mean. Give yourself a break, you don't have to be on all the time. Like go and like drink with your friends, and you don't have to party like every 2 seconds. I mean, like if that's your move, that's your move. But like the what's that word that's been clout? You know what I mean? There's a lot of clout chasing.
Yeah.
But like a lot of it's not intentional.
Right.
And I'm not shitting on the people here, but it was really important for me to have artists on that were like strictly Canadian Torontonians.
Right.
Because it's like we need to help each other. We don't need to chase anything.
You're a super good dude. Like every time I've talked to you, I feel like you're a really great dude. No, you are, and you're like you're just super genuine and super sweet. And I love you, man. I'm very happy you're on the show.
I love you too, man.
I really do. Like I really mean it. And the record Apricity is amazing.
Thanks, dude.
It's out on Last Gang Records, right?
Out on Last Gang. Yeah. Oh wait, dude, I brought you a present.
What?
Can you give me 1 second?
What?
Play a jingle or something.
this is a first in 6 seasons.
Play a jingle. I guess we're taking a break.
Jingles on demand.
Okay.
That was totally worth it.
Yeah,
which camera am I putting this to?
No, I don't know. It's just
There?
for you, man. You don't
No,
have
I
to-
just want to show the people watching at home.
Yeah, like a
This
little
camera
Harrison tech
3
deck,
over
man.
here. Which one am I? You, Shane?
This
Okay.
being filmed?
Maybe. What? Okay, it's a little Harrison skateboard. What's this about? It's like a little toy. You interrupted my show to go buy or go bring me a miniature novelty skateboard with your name on
it's
it.
a present.
That's the most vain shit I've ever heard in my life.
It's all for you.
What is this? Is this? Does it have a download code or something? It says Apricity on the bottom.
No, we just made like
This is great.
1,000 of them.
Does it have something to do with the record?
Yeah, it was like a promo thing.
Okay, well, this is very sweet.
Yeah, no problem, bro.
I didn't mean to. I
got
didn't mean
you,
to
man.
shit all over it
No, it's okay.
repeatedly.
Don't you have a kid?
I have 2 kids, and my son and I just bought skateboards this
Oh,
summer.
dope, man. You said give it to him,
Like
man.
real skateboards.
Oh, word.
Not like the tiny one you went and got,
man,
but
you
like
can skate on that.
big. Yeah, I fall, he falls. It's great.
I used to skateboard.
You skate?
I wanted to be a professional skateboarder.
Really?
When I was 16, yeah, man.
Wow, geez, the sky's the limit for you.
No, I was shit, though.
Okay, we have to take a quick break, and then when we come back, a little bit more with Harrison, and then Chippy Nonstop's coming back. Before we go to the commercial, we're looking for audience suggestions for conversation topics when we come back. So get your thinking caps
Think
on.
of a question.
Yeah, thank you
Think of
very
a good
much. We'll be
question.
back in just a moment.
You're listening to the 446th episode of Creative Control, brought to you by the support of listeners like you who subscribe to this podcast and spread the word about it, and make flexible monthly pledges at patreon.com/creativecontrol. Plus in-kind support from CFRU 93.3 FM, Pizza Trocadero, The Bookshelf, and Planet Bean Coffee in Guelph, and Grandad's Donuts in Hamilton. Go to vishkhanna.com to learn more about Creative Control.
Hello. Mic check.
Okay, we're back. We're back on Long Night.
How about Chippy?
How about another round of
applause?
applause?
I'm so little, I feel like.
Chippy, Nonstop, Harrison, how about a hand for our guests? Okay, it's time now for a new segment on the show. It's called Audience Topic Conversation in front of the audience that pitched the topic. Who does anyone have any topics for us to riff on? What should we talk about? Anything? Streetcars. No, Gio doesn't get a vote. Streetcars? Really? You want to talk about streetcars? You had your hand up.
They don't even take that. Like the East End.
The East End generally? Just like
The
streetcars?
That's my end.
So we have
That's his end. I don't know nothing about
streetcars and the East End. Does someone just need a ride somewhere? What's going on? It's a weird combo. We could talk about that, I guess. I don't know. You live in the East End.
I love the East End.
What do you want to talk about in
the
terms
West?
of the East End?
Because we both live there. Ben Cook from
that. Oh,
Young
she
Go.
knows where you live.
Yeah.
You did say that's weird, right? Someone
Yeah,
in the
I
crowd-
don't know about all this.
No, you did say, Harrison, you said something like the city's burning down, basically. Like you made a little jab at
You
the city.
said Toronto's burning.
Yeah, Toronto's burning.
So what is that? What were you referring? Is that something
No,
to
I
do
just
with
mean like
your-
everything. I'm slowly. I'm like, I'll be like showing my dog on Instagram. smoking weed.
Online, it looks like it's burning in our world.
Yeah, like the scene
really
looks
does.
like it's just coming apart.
Everyone's
Yeah.
coming for each other. Everyone's doing some problematic shit. Venues are closing.
Yeah. It's a bad time.
We have nowhere to throw parties anymore. Like there all these venues that we throw shit at because owners are sus.
This is why I drink alone.
This is,
You know?
Chippy, are you talking? Chippy, you're talking just about Toronto?
Well, it's everywhere, but like it's affecting us directly in Toronto because it's a small scene here.
Yeah.
And like in terms of like dance music scene, there's very few venues that book like niche music like that we play. And so there's not a lot of places left that we can get booked or play because here it's so small. But like it's happening everywhere, but everywhere has so many more options. You know, like
Every other
in
city?
Europe it's fine. Like dance music you can play in almost every venue in Europe.
Do you think that speaks to something going on in Toronto or Canada in particular? Like Chippy, you have an interesting perspective because you've lived basically everywhere.
Yeah.
Like is Toronto just not cool?
I mean
I know Harrison didn't want us to shit on Toronto.
No, I don't want to shit on Toronto, but
Yeah.
I always say like I like that it's a challenge to throw things because then there's room for it to grow and change. And they're like in New York, like I can't move to New York and show them something that they haven't already seen because it's already New York.
Right.
Like here, there's room for you to do something new and different, and like include everyone and like have, like you can grow bigger and better in Toronto, but if we're not given the space that we need, then how are we going to do that? And we lack the resources and infrastructure for dance music here to do what we need.
So when you say there's more opportunity in Toronto, well, the other side of that is
No, more opportunity to be able to do something
Right.
if we're given the infrastructure that we need.
right. So where do we get that from?
People with money.
Okay. Is there anyone with money here tonight? Harrison, what do you make of that? Like, do you feel like there's less like opportunities for the kind of culture that Chippy's describing? I mean, have you experienced that? You've been here your whole life.
Well, yeah, I mean, I gotta agree with you there, Chips. I agree with
Seems
you.
a little familiar to call her Chips.
we're friends. We're friends.
We're
Do you know
homies.
each other
Yeah,
beyond the
we're
show?
actually
Over
friends.
years.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. How do
Yeah,
you know
we've-
each other?
Internet.
The web?
The web. No, we're in like a similar like friends circle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I be in the circle? Am I in
Yeah,
the circle?
you're well, yeah.
You're too
Of
old.
course.
Oh fuck!
Just kidding. You called
Shouldn't have
yourself
revealed my
that.
age.
Oh, man.
I did say I was old.
No, that's okay.
Fine, I
I'm
can't
just
keep-
kidding.
We'll
We have
start-
old people in our circle.
I'm not old. I'm not old. I'm just I'm elderly. I'm not even elderly.
Elderly.
I'm worse than whatever.
Don't-
Elderly
Me.
sounds worse than old.
You're right. I'm sorry. I'm not that old.
We'll start
Anyway,
like a touch of gray club.
right.
And then you can come
Yeah. Touch of gray.
All right. Why don't we just open the? I want to get off of this topic because it's making me self-conscious. Does anybody have any other subjects they want us to address? We only have less. We're almost out of time. Anything? Okay, we have a minute. Let's talk about collaborative processes.
You already talked about
No,
that, didn't you?
you guys, yeah, you both collaborate with lots of people, right?
Yeah, I love collabing.
Did you collaborate with like Diplo or something?
We
Yeah.
were just where were you at the top of the show?
Sorry,
didn't
I was,
listen to
I was
me?
smoking cigarettes.
Okay.
Oh.
We talked about Diplo
right.
and did we talk about GCJ? No, we didn't talk
No,
about GCJ.
I mean, no.
Kreishan? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I love collaborating with people like on whole projects and like combining both of our like visions together, like you were saying also. Yeah, I mean, I like working alone, but I enjoy collabing a lot more. I don't like to send off shit. I mostly just like to
like where you wanna work
be
one-on-one? Yeah.
be in a room
Yeah.
with people and work that way.
What about you? Because you
Me?
make a lot of tracks on your own. Do you send them off to people?
Yeah, I send them, and then I have to. They're usually forced to get into the workspace together. I hate studios, man. They're the worst.
Yeah.
I can't stand them.
You have like a home studio that you.
Yeah, well, I mean, like studios, it's so fucking dark. Am I allowed to swear?
It's too
We've
late.
been.
Okay, no, yeah, it's just so dark, and I get tired.
I
every
know
time
there's a
one's
minute
happening.
left
What do
in
you
the
mean
show,
dark?
but can I
What do you
swear?
mean?
Is that okay?
What do you mean dark?
There's 30
You can put
seconds
the
left.
lights up.
No, they're always just like little pot, you know. It's
Wait,
so,
what?
It's always moody. Have you ever
You,
been?
you
You've been
can
in a
change
studio.
the lighting in the studio.
I've never been in a studio where the lights are
It
blaring.
does seem like your problems are quite solvable, Harrison.
They're all
I mean,
very solvable.
You
Flick
can,
of a switch.
you can like
Extremely
literally
solvable.
bring in a lamp.
I'm not gonna ask the studio guy.
Chippy's a problem solver. That's just.
Wait, honestly, like I like really dark spaces. So
Sure.
like I like dark studios. So maybe
Can't
that's
stand them.
I didn't. Okay.
I have no problem. That's the only problem with collaborative
Just to
process.
wrap this up, we were talking about collaborative processes. Would you two work together on something? Have you worked together on something?
We tried. I don't know. Maybe back in
Did we try?
2014. Back in the day.
I don't remember.
Back in
Sorry.
2014?
I
Yeah,
mean,
back
I mean,
in
I'm
the
down.
way
I'm
back.
down to like reignite the flame.
Yes, we could do that. We can do that.
I feel like you two should do something. And if you need
Alright.
a rapper or something, I can do it.
You can do the ad
You
libs.
need a rapper
I
or
can ra-
something.
I
But
can rap.
but I'm a rapper.
I know, but we could rap together. It's the trade verses.
You can do the ad libs.
Why?
Cinema.
Yeah. I don't think.
Can you
I need
freestyle
to-
right now?
I need to be very prepared for everything I do. I can't just ad lib. But it would be fun if we. Who would want to
No,
see
no, like ad
us
lib-
make a record together? How about that? Let me.
Wait. No, ad libs are like just like chants over what I'm saying.
Yeah, I could do that. Right now, I'm not gonna do it right now.
No, right now, not right now. Like.
Okay, yeah, no, I
later.
can do stuff. I've rapped and ad libbed. Is that how people talk when they can do those things? Do I sound like I'm an imposter? We have to
Yes.
wrap up the show. There's more long winter to come. How about another round of applause for Chippy Nonstop and Harrison and James Keast and the Bicycles and all of you. Thank you so much. Oh, we'll be back next month at Polish Combatants Hall, and one of our guests on Long Night will be 2018 Polaris Music Prize winner Jeremy Dutcher. We'll see you there. Good night, everybody. Bye.